Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections. It's your girl, Aly. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. And listen, life is just, it's short. It goes by too fast. So, today we're talking a little bit about that. And we just want to remind everybody to, get prepared, enjoy life, engage in life because it does go by quickly. And our guest today is Miss Seven Doggett. She is also recently married to also Mrs. Robinson. And she is the founder and director of MM2K. The purpose of MM2K is to provide an organized safe haven in the community for families, provide services in a positive learning and nurturing environment with the goal of bringing awareness and resources towards developing a functioning family associated with murdered offspring and or relatives. So Seven, how are you today?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm alive.
Listen, we know that
That's all I can say.
this conversation is a heavy one, but it's a necessary one, right? And so
Absolutely.
I know you've been on the show before, but just in case somebody missed you before, I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself, even though I said a little bit about you, but I know there's more to that.
Well, I'm Seven Robinson now, and like you said, newly married, and it's been a lot. I got a lot of hats. First, I am an angel mom. I am executive director, founder of MM2K, Mommy's Matter to Kyrie, who is my son, that I lost to gun violence here in Charlotte. Um, I'm a conqueror. I'm a survivor. I am a soldier. I am that girl.
That girl,
So,
for sure. And I always like to say, we were celebrating Black History Month and now it's Women's History. And you encompass all that. You're a Black woman and you're still making history because with your organization, this is going to be something that outlives you because
absolutely.
you're putting it in place to help people and to make a foundation to support others who have lost loved ones, family, friends, co-workers due to senseless gun violence. And so we can kind of jump into it right there if you want to, and you can kind of share a little bit about your story
Okay.
when it happened.
Well, I birthed MM2K probably around 2018. Um, around the beginning of 2018. 2017, I actually lost my son, Ree, to senseless gun violence here in Charlotte. He was murdered on over on Independence. He was shot multiple times in the broad daylight on August the 8th, 2017. Um, he was my oldest son. He was a father, an artist musically, and an artist actually he could draw as well.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, he was a father of three. He worked 9 to 5, and he did his music part time, and he had became very popular with the music. Um, the last time that I saw him, he informed me that he had just won the North Carolina New Artist Music Award,
Oh, wow.
and I was very happy about that. So our last conversation was him asking me, "Ma, you going with me to the music awards?" And I'm like, "What music awards?" He's like, "I won the North Carolina New Artist Music Award." And so he was really hyped up about that. He was so excited that, because he had really put in the work. Um, and that actually was my last time, seeing him. Uh, he was just a free spirit. He just wanted to make it in the music industry, and his last sentence to me was, "Mom, I'm gonna buy you a house." And I I said, my comment back to him was, I said, you know what? I know how this music industry is because I've been singing all my life. And I would rather have you, or I'd rather stay in an apartment if I can have you.
Mhm.
Because, I just know that you can think back to Biggie and Tupac and all of that as far as, how this rap thing always turns out. So, not all the time, but, you know, it's never when you have everyone just congratulating you. You always have to have those that don't. And I was just kind of nervous about that. But
Mhm.
anyways, he was a great guy. He was, like I said, a dad, a worker, an artist, and he was just trying to do his thing, like all other, young men out here, just trying to find his way.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
so, why did you feel it was important? Because sometimes, we go through things and we experience it, but, we just kind of experience it on our own. We go through it. But why did you feel it was important to create MM2K?
one day, well, I had a lot of my friends tell me that I needed to talk with a therapist, and I didn't think that I needed to talk with a therapist. I just said, you know what, God, and I'm gonna do this with God, and I'm gonna be okay. And one day I was laying on my bed, and I said, well, let me see what I can find with the, you know, information about therapy and see what I can find on the internet. And, just a thought, maybe I might decide later on to do it. But, so as I scrolled through the internet, I saw a lot of statistics and numbers and information. But Allie, I didn't see anywhere where it said, call me if you're crying in your pillow at 2 or 3 in the morning. Call me when you're having those panic attacks. Call me when you're having those anxiety attacks. Call me. I didn't see anywhere. So at that time, I said, you know what? I want to be that person. And so I just, I went on ahead and started, doing my research and just trying to see, what I could find as far as, who was out here, who was doing, that type of work out here. And so I just, that's how MM2K was birthed. And things just fell into place with the birthing of it. People were just coming my way just to, give me information and, help me. And I was just really, excited about it. And it's therapy for me to help other moms.
Mhm.
So it's my way that I heal, you know.
Right, right. And like you said, I mean, and it does when you're going through something. Sometimes you're like, man, I just wish somebody. Because sometimes you can talk to a friend or somebody, but they don't understand what you're going through. Like if they've
Right.
never experienced domestic violence, if they've never lost a child to violence, they're there and but they don't really get it.
Hmm.
So I think it's awesome that you created this organization because you get what these parents are going through.
Oh yeah. It's a difference when you know what's going on, you know how that person feels, you know what those night sweats are about and those tears in your pillow at 2, 3 in the morning, those anxiety attacks from nowhere. Because I didn't even know what anxiety was until I saw my mom drive off.
Mhm.
And when I saw her drive off, and my heart started beating fast and my stomach was hurting, and I didn't know what that was. I ran to the doctor because I'm like, something's wrong with me. And she was like, that's anxiety. And I didn't know because, you know, my family, I mean, I have adopted family here, but my family is actually, you know, um, not from here. So,
Mhm.
it was, yeah, it's different. It's a life sentence, as I
Mhm.
always say. It is a life sentence for us, and it's an everyday roller coaster ride. I can be driving down the street, Allie, and I'm, saying, oh, it's gonna be a great day. And I
Mm,
can see a car that look like my son, and
mm,
that is the end of the day. That's the end of the good day, you
right.
know, because I done pulled over, I'm crying, I'm upset, starting to look at pictures, and it's just a whole thing.
Right.
So, and then, just living here in Charlotte, sometimes I go out to the place where he was murdered, and I sit in that parking space just so I can see if I can hear him.
Mm,
Um, it's a lot of different things that we do as what I call angel moms and
mm.
dad.
Wow. Well, Miss Stephanie says she's proud to be a part of MM2K, and Miss
Mhm.
CC says, "Mommy is here." Is that your mom?
Yeah.
Hey, mom. Listen, and again, I'm in that side where I can't say I feel what you feel. I empathize, and I hate that you had to go through that. I hate that there's so many people going through it. I mean,
Yeah.
how can how can we really make a difference? I know you have there's a lot of marches that go on in Charlotte. Um, I think I pulled up a statistic this morning. It said already 2023 there's been 15 homicides in Charlotte area. This year we're just at March 11th. That's way too many. And
Way too many.
it's happening so much. I mean, what can we do to help?
Allie, we can first get some of these laws looked at and changed, and you know get into it with have that conversation with these little kids. People think because they're young, oh, they don't need to hear about that. Yes, they do need to hear about that, because when you have 6-year-olds going to school shooting their teacher, I think we need to have that conversation.
Exactly.
you know um we need to have that conversation starting as young as possible. Like I said, we, you know, my husband and I, we had decided to go to Raleigh, and talk with them in Raleigh, and just to see, what we can do. We haven't taken that off of our agenda. We just have had some, personal things that we've been going through, but that's still on the roster to, still go to Raleigh. We want to talk with the legislators. I have some plans to, in working with the school system. Um, it's a We got to dig, and it's got to start at home too. You have to be a parent and not a friend. Not
Hmm.
these days. You know,
Yeah.
You have to be a parent and not a friend. You have to have that at dinner conversation about what's going on out here. A lot of children were traumatized with what happened with that teacher, and that was in my hometown.
Wow.
So, you know, between that and yeah, the marches are good and everything, but Allie, what I do find, and I'm just one to keep it 100 all the time. I give that platform that I have to others to come out, bring pictures of your loved ones, and talk, about your loved one. Every year in January we have the Mega Mommy March, and I want everybody out there. But you know what, Allie? We would rather sit and talk about what's going on and all of the gun violence, and oh my God, that happened and this happened. But what are you doing to help with the solution?
Right. Right.
What are you doing? Are you just going to sit on your couch and complain about how much gun violence? Because see, MM2K, uh, and all these other organizations, One Time Inc., and all the other organizations, we can't do it by ourselves. It's going to take everybody to get involved. And I feel like, when I, say, hey, come out to the Mega Mommy March and, bring a picture of your loved one that you lost to gun violence. Don't just sit on your couch or sit at home and talk about what's going on, because it could be yours next. There's no names on these bullets. There's no names. There's no genders or anything. It could be yours next. It can be anything from a little baby laying in the safe haven of his grandmother's house to an elderly lady just picking up her granddaughter from a child's party,
Right.
and she gets hit with one. So you have to be involved. I mean, like I said, there's no names, no genders, no, it can be yours next. I wasn't thinking that I was going to wake up on a Tuesday and go to work and receive that call at 7:15. Like, that day plays vividly in my memory every day.
Mm.
Sitting at my desk and seeing my phone go off, and I'm like, why does somebody keep calling me like that? Why did, and I'm seeing not Sheriff, but Charlotte, and it wasn't the whole thing across my phone. It just kept saying Charlotte and then something else. And I was like, I didn't know what that was, but to just, it's something that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. Just going to that police station and hearing, he and the police officer is just like, well, do you already know? And I'm like, no, what?
Mm-hmm.
And, for them to say, well, your son's gone. I'm never going to forget that conversation. I'm never going to forget screaming up the street. I literally walked up South Tryon screaming my son's name. It's the feeling that you can never, ever, ever imagine. You just, so uh yeah, it's gonna take a number of different things, Allie, and it's gonna have to be everybody. One person just can't do it. And
Right.
until we as a community say, hey, we all need to come together to make a difference, sadly, you're gonna keep seeing the numbers rise.
Right. And I was trying to see. I think it was somebody from the NAACP, Kareem Mack. I think it was. It says you see, uh, we all have to buy into, just like you were saying, we all have to buy into how important it is that we change the trajectory of our communities. All of
Mm-hmm.
us have been affected by this. It may not be your child, your nephew, your cousin, your dad, your mother that has been killed, but it still affects the community.
It does.
Because even if it's not mine, I know you. So it wasn't my child, but because I know you and I know you're suffering and this is, a part of your life forever, now I'm affected. Now I want to try to get the word out. Now I want to try to, you know what I'm saying? And it really does. But a lot of times that's what we do. We're like, oh man, that's so sad. A two
Yeah.
year old got killed. Oh my gosh, a 20-year-old. Oh, but we don't do anything. We don't, we're not writing letters to Congress. When it's time to vote on these things, like,
Right.
what, no bail, there's a
No
bond.
bond for murder.
hmm Things like that. We
No
have to.
bond for murder. Are you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. So when we do that,
Yes,
we have to go out and we have to vote. We have to make our voices heard.
absolutely.
So where is that, right? No bond for murder, because the person who shot your son, they had been in trouble before, right?
Yes. He has a rap sheet from one end of Charlotte to the other. Yes. And he had that the year he has 16, I believe I read online, 16 for the year of 2017. It's only 12 months in a year. So, I mean, and then you still turned around and you let him out, and then he came and he killed my son. So the only thing he probably didn't have on his record was murder, but now he's put that on there, and He gets to, ask for a different lawyer. He doesn't like his attorney. He doesn't, it's just like the law is made for the criminal. Like I'm just like, what? So he gets to change attorneys because yeah, they're not doing what he needs, and you know, um, yeah. So I have to go and look at this cocky person who, to me, has no remorse for what he's done. The way that he responds and answers to the judge, there's no type of just no anything. It's just like whatever. You don't understand that what you did was you not only hurt your family and children because they don't get to see their dad, but you made a mess with two families,
Right.
yours and mine. Because see, your children can come and visit you wherever they decide to put you, if they decide to put you there.
Right.
Because what I've been experiencing is you all don't you all get to go home and enjoy yourself, watch TV, no ankle monitor. Uh, you get to just kill somebody and have a great life.
Right.
Where us angel moms, we have to live a life sentence and we haven't even committed a crime,
Right.
you know? So you get to do whatever you want to do. You've taken somebody's child, father, grandson, son, daughter, and then you have a choice. You shouldn't have a choice. You should have no bond. Nobody should have a bond that took somebody's life. It should be a life for a life. You should do your life in jail, even though that's not even going to bring back my son. My son's children can never see him again. They can never spend a Christmas. They can never spend a birthday. And my grandson is having some issues with wanting to know his dad.
Right.
And even God bless his children because they didn't ask for a father like him.
Right.
But those children need their dad. They need a good father in their life too. They don't, so the whole thing is just a mess. And it's because, what gets you so angry that you want to take somebody's life? There's nothing that can get me there's nothing in this world that can make me just want to go take somebody's life because I'm mad at them or I don't like them or you
Right.
know so I just I don't get it. So no, you should have no bond. You should sit there. You should have no choices of anything. And what these judges are doing, they're giving them, I'm gonna tell you what, and I'm an open book. When I went to my court hearing, the judge said, "Hmm, this looks kind of strange. You're still in jail and you've been in here for 5 years." Well, you know what? That told me she's used to letting them out after 5 years.
Okay.
She's used to seeing them go home after 5 years.
Right.
Because to her, that was strange. What's strange about it? He killed my child.
Mm.
He killed my child. So he should be there for a whole bunch of other fives. He should die in there. He should be in there for 5,000 years. Like that was, I couldn't believe she said that.
Wow.
But she granted him again. She granted him uh his new attorney. And, I just, it's sickening to go
But
into these
what
courtrooms.
what are they fighting? I mean, he did it. So what are they fighting?
Well, he looked back at me and said, I didn't even do it. Well, if you didn't do it, who did? They haven't kept you there for 5 years for nothing.
Right.
So
Mm.
who did? Because I wouldn't want to sit and be away from my children for 5 years and I didn't do anything. That doesn't
Exactly.
make sense to me.
Exactly. So let's tell who did it, and you can be free if
Right,
you are free.
right. But it's sickening to go into the courtrooms because this is how these cases are being handled. And, for one of my angel moms to see the murderer of her son, just walk out of the courtroom free as a bird, like I was I was just I couldn't say anything. I just couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And it's just, I mean, if if it was one of the judges' sons or daughters, would it be different? Would it
Good.
be different then?
Very good question.
So
So
I'm
what kind of laws, what if we're riding to, or if we're going to Raleigh to talk to somebody? I mean, like, who should we be looking for to talk to? What should we be saying? What should we be pushing for?
I have talked with my husband about it a lot, and he's like, he wants to talk to legislators. Um, I've been told by some of the by a commissioner that, when I go there, or I need to talk with, someone who is in my district. Just talking with my husband, he's just like, we need to speak with legislators, and I'm learning a lot from him.
Hmm.
So, that's his expertise. And I'm really learning a lot from him as far as what we need to say, who we need to talk to, what needs to go on. Who are these legislative people that we need to speak to? So I'm really learning a lot from him as far as what we need to do. Um, but right now is, can we deal with it can we get something done in these courtrooms first?
Right.
Maybe if something is done in the courtrooms first, maybe once we get there, they'll see that some changes have been made here on a local level, and then that'll push them to do what they need to do.
Right.
So we're all gonna have to work together. Again, it's gonna take more than just one person. People got to start realizing, and like the question goes back to, if it was a judge's son or daughter or relative or mom or dad, would it be different then?
Right. Right. And that's the thing, we, I think, are still fighting for is that equality of everything, whether it's, the sentences we receive, the grace we receive, whatever, the attention, because I was just watching on Lifetime this past weekend, and it was Black Girl Missing. And so this mom cared about her child. We care about our children too. We care about our communities too. She went.
Absolutely.
She went to the jailhouse. She talked to the sheriff or detective who was over the case. She talked to the news people, but nobody wanted to cover that case. But one of her things was, now I've seen for myself on TV three other cases of Caucasian women who are missing. You don't know what's going on with them, but you're covering their case.
Mhm,
But you won't even mention my daughter's name.
mhm,
What's up with that?
mhm.
So, yeah, we got a lot of work to
A lot
do.
of work to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it doesn't matter, you know, how your child was killed. It could be in an accident, gun violence, by a police officer. It doesn't matter. That's your child. That's your child, period. And a mother is always going to go hard for her child. I know I am, because I'm never going to stop saying his name ever.
Right.
So all you did was create a monster, because never going to stop saying his name. I'm never going to stop, you know, um, the Mega Mommy March. I'm never going to stop because I believe within my heart that, it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger. And people are getting tired of losing their loved ones to senseless gun violence. It's ridiculous. It's I have it posted on my page, and it's like on my Facebook page where the guy talks about it's a massacre out here. Like, um, we're losing people, we're losing our loved ones, and
Muzzle closed.
they'll go out, you're going out, you buying these shoes and these coats and these name brand this and this, but you better go get your child some insurance. That's what you need to do.
Right.
Because I was one of those moms where I had actually just gotten the paperwork, but because he of the age that he was, I needed him to sign it. So when the last time that I saw him, because I was so excited to see him, I forgot to ask him to sign the paper so I could turn it into the insurance. And that was on a Sunday. Monday he called me, and Tuesday he was gone. And I was just rebuilding, and I had to take everything that I had to put my son in a beautiful urn. You can buy these shoes and bags and jackets and coats and all of this name brand stuff. Go get some insurance because it's nobody else's responsibility to bury or put your child in an urn, and you shouldn't have to depend on a GoFundMe. Period.
Right, right. And let's talk about that. Let's dig into that. Really, we need to be more prepared for life because even COVID, who knew COVID was coming? A lot of
Right.
people didn't have anything saved up,
Hmm.
the people who died, again, they didn't have insurance, even though
Yeah.
burials were had to be stacked and, took some time, but people didn't have insurance on their loved ones and
Hmm.
everything was just hard. So, and I know insurance is something people don't like to talk about. They don't like everybody wants to live for right now, but even retirement and things like that, you have to start preparing. So, really, how important is it to start having those tough conversations, right?
Yeah, because like I said, I didn't know that I was not gonna have my son 2 days later after seeing him. And people have gotten so comfortable with, let's just do a GoFundMe. Let's just do a GoFundMe. But I'm gonna just keep it real. If you can go buy some weed, then you can go buy some life insurance.
Because listen, those tennis shoes and
Those Jordans are
all
100 and
the
something. You can go get $25,000 uh insurance burial for your loved one for $34.
right,
But you're
exactly.
buying Jordans for $200, and then you're gonna leave it on your mom or your loved one to do a GoFundMe and all of that but
And that's
come
just
on,
like you
people.
said, $34 a month. And you can pay
Right.
it for the year. Just like you paid that one $200 for those shoes, pay it up for the year so you don't have to keep coming out of your pocket. Well,
Absolutely.
because as soon as you get a scratch on those Jordans or somebody steps on 'em, you get some dirt, you're gonna go get another pair. So
Right. So how long do you continue to make Michael Jordan rich, and you don't even have a way to even put yourself in a ground? That makes no sense to me.
and again too, like you're saying, what about your children that are left behind?
Right.
What's happening with them? You know that a loved one is going to take care of them, love on them, but don't you want to be able to still contribute to that happening? So I see Charles has some comments here. He says we have several new media outlets but fail to use those tools at hand. Problem excuse me, problem is there's only 5 or 6 folks screaming. What happens when our community unites and says we've had enough? Then he says, one more thing down there, Alan. We need to stop saying folk don't like to talk about, say black folk don't like to talk about life insurance. Well, you're right. And that's true. I mean, we're always talking about how somebody else is, holding us down and stuff like that, but we're holding ourselves down. we gotta really, like he says, unite, work together. I may not always be boots on the ground, but I try to be here on this platform to do what I can. I try to, promote, if I need to write, if I need to make some phone calls, I want to do what I can, you know. So everybody's got to find that place where they fit in. Are you a boots on the ground person? Are you a letter writing person? Are you a um, marching person? Whatever you can do to help this situation and help our communities, because that's what it is. Our communities are dying. And so
Absolutely.
we've got to be the ones that are saying, no, we need to live, and we need to live well, and we need to live prepared. We need to, we don't need guns. Let's sit down to the tables and
Mhm.
talk. What do we need guns? Guns are not going to solve our problems. We're too intelligent to work things out to have to go to a gun for a solution, right?
And it's simple things, Allie, that we're losing these young people for. I mean, just simple things that can be talked about. Um, you know, that that's one of the things that we need to have conversations about with these young people is, conflict resolution. What happens when you are, you know, outside, you've taken a spring break and there's no teachers around? How are you going to handle these situations? And when you're outside at the basketball court and somebody gets mad because they lost a game, or, just using these examples, but what are you going to
Yeah.
do? It's not always that you have to go to a gun. You People need to think about, and they don't, because I understand when you're angry about something, but we have to start thinking that, you know, pulling out a gun and now I'm getting ready to mess up my life, mess up, someone's going to lose their child. I have children. He or she may have children. Like, come on, let's just start thinking before reacting. You know,
Mhm.
it's just it's a lot. So
It
yeah,
really is. But like, again, we need to say we've had enough, um, and
absolutely.
mean it. How are these young children getting guns? And if it's coming from a parent's home, okay, supposedly you're supposed to lock these guns up. I mean, how are they just readily available for your child to go pick it
Pick
out of
up
the
and take to
bedroom?
school.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, that part of the story didn't make sense to me. So I'm still kind of stuck on that part, but
And
yeah.
if you're going to have guns in the house, like you said, we still have to have
Look
those
'em up.
responsible conversations. These are
Mhm.
not to go out and just shoot somebody because they made you angry. This
Right.
this is here, and this is the reason it's here, and these are the people who can use this weapon.
Absolutely.
So
And lock them up. I mean, be safe with it and keep them in a safe place and keep them away from children. I mean, children are always going to be
curious about.
curious about things. So make sure it's in a place where they can't reach it, and it's locked up. So this way we don't have kids going to school doing this to this teacher. She didn't wake up like she's teaching kids, and from what I read, she's, was a really good teacher. So she didn't wake up to, have your child come and shoot her at school while she's doing her job and trying to educate your child. Like, mm, do we need more counselors in the schools?
Yeah,
Do we need to start talking about more things in school? Like, what caused a 6-year-old? We talking about six, not 16. What caused a 6-year-old to want to go? What do you know about
never would have thought
shooting?
about doing something like that. Might have been
Not
mad.
at 6 years old. I wanted to go outside. I wanted to climb trees and have my grandma make me lemonade outside. I felt like I was doing something, but you know, take a gun to school and shoot your teacher? Really? Because why? She asked you to do some math?
Right.
I'm
She asked you to be
I'm
quiet
not
while
getting
she was
it.
talking and teaching. You had to be quiet. Yeah,
Right.
I think, like you said, a lot of this stuff is we need to start at home. You know, I know life is busy, people are trying to work three or four jobs, but our families are not going to raise themselves. We have
Absolutely.
to be involved because the streets will raise them.
Mhm.
TV will raise them.
Mhm.
And TV is just that, it's for entertainment purposes. But,
Right.
back in our day, you couldn't see some of the shows that we see now at 12 noon. They came on at night because we knew it was the influence.
Because we was asleep. You and
Thank,
we was asleep.
thank
We
you.
got some 3 and 4 year olds that's still running around at 12 midnight, and they're like, "Oh, they're not asleep." What? We had structure with our household. We had 8 o'clock. We was in the bed. You ate, you take your bath, and you was in the bed by 8:30. It was no. And you knew that as a child. Like, I'm looking at the clock. Okay, I gotta hurry up and eat. If I want to, okay, let me. And I'm getting. I gotta go take my bath. It was none of that. These kids are, like I said, stop trying to be their friend, and be that parent.
Be their
Cause
parent.
me, I'm everybody, mama and grandma. I
That
got so
part.
many kids.
And
I got 5. Yeah.
when did we get to the point where we were a community? Now you knew if neighbor Sally or Aunt Betty or somebody's. I love what you're doing here. He's saying absolutely so true about the things that we're talking about because we were a community. We could go to your mom and be like, now we saw Seven out here playing around talking to these guys something. She was talking to too many guys and she's by herself. We need to talk to her about this. And your mom be like, "What? Seven? Come here,
Look,
come here." But now we get mad that you don't
I'm
tell
trying to.
me.
I hope that my mother doesn't start typing. How many times I get my butt whooped because a neighbor told, because she's my godmother, and she told, but she didn't even have to tell, because I knew when I saw her, if I was outside and I wasn't supposed to be outside, I knew she wasn't gonna tell my mom. She was gonna handle that herself and then send me home. And then
It's
it's
true.
a wrap from there. But we don't have that no more. We don't have that village anymore. And that's what I said on like my second Mega Mommy March. Like, where's the village? We don't have a village anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to turn their head and just let these kids do whatever. And that's totally not me. My daughter is just like, I don't even want you to come, because if somebody doing something, you gonna be saying something, trying to be their mother. I ain't trying to be their mother, but you know what? You're not gonna do things in front of me that you shouldn't be doing as a child, and I'm just gonna be okay with it.
Right.
You can't do that, because I'm gonna look at you like, and from my kids to my grandkids, they already know. Like, that's not gonna happen on my watch. Not on my watch. Now,
Right.
on your mommy watch, I'm gonna tell you, because when I get to you, I'm gonna tell your mother. My grandson be like, dang, she always telling mama. Right. I'm
Listen,
tell you,
because I
mom.
want to know what's happening because we are in this together, and it's just like Betty says this is true, and Charles says we certainly need more counselors in school, but school systems can't hire enough, and CMS is below the average. If we all know that, then use that allotted monies to partner with outside agencies. Every year we do the same thing and expect extended grace for failure. Ooh.
Mhm.
And Lamont says, life has changed so much. We can't raise our kids the way we grew up. We are raising our kids in a different world. We
And
are, but at the same time,
at
we
the
still have
same
to have those eyes on, you know what I'm saying? If I see
right.
you doing something that I know could possibly get you hurt, I'm gonna say something. This my friends be like, you need to shut up. That ain't your kids. And I'm like, okay, but this child is out here without an adult, so we are the adults present. So let me just, whether they agree with what I say, whether they do take my advice or not, but let the seed be planted, right?
Mhm.
We just have
Mhm.
to. We have to plant those seeds in the ground.
Mhm. Me and my husband was at the store, and I'm like, when I see little kids, young people like by themselves, I'm like, where's mom? Where her dad? Where is somebody? Who is this little baby? Because I'm gonna take you to the front. I'm the mom that's going to take you to the front. Yes, things have changed. Yes, I get that. But the basics, the foundation, I'm a 70s baby, and the foundation is always going to be the foundation. Where's your parent? And my daughter could never have friends over, and I didn't know your mama know you're here. Do your mama know you're here?
Right.
Yeah, and then they'll say yes. I said get them on the phone because I'm not taking your word for it. I want to talk to your mom, and I want to see if she know that you're here. Hi, my name is Seven. I'm mom, and I just wanted to know if you knew your child was here because if you don't know, I'm about to bring them to you.
Honey, now you ain't lying. Now, Lamont, you're welcome to throw out some ideas too. But you're right. We didn't just be like, "Oh, I'm going to the mall." Wait. Who you going to the mall? And now let's face it. Some of us we lied, and some we know our kids are going to lie. But I always try to tell my godson, don't lie because listen, this is why I ask you. I may not even like where you're going, but I need to know a basis where to start looking for you if something happens. I need to know who to
Absolutely,
call first if you're not
absolutely,
home at this time. So I think even if we have those conversations with our kids, okay, I know you don't like me asking you, but this is the reason. I'm not trying to get in your business, control you. I'm trying to make sure you come home at the end of the day.
absolutely. Even my daughter, she's 21 years old. I'm still like, you need to tell me where you're going because if anything happens, I need to know who to go to,
Hmm.
who to tell the police to look for. Like, I need to know. And in some occasions, if I see her pull somebody coming to pick her up or she getting in a car with somebody, I be sneaking and taking pictures of license plates and everything.
Listen, these are our babies. Look, I think I was probably in my 30s, and I was like, well, let me call my mom, tell her we're getting ready to go out of town. They're like, you still call your mom? I'm like, well, yeah. I mean,
Right. I'm 50.
she thinking I'm
Look,
home at my apartment chilling or whatever, and then it's 2 weeks later, and she's like, well, where's she at? I don't know. No, she gonna know basis where to start. Last time she said she was going here, she didn't call me when she got there. So look, in between there and there,
absolutely.
y'all better get to looking.
Allie, I'm 52. I call my mom every day. I call her every day. And if I'm going somewhere, Ma, I'm going just in emergency cases, just an emergency. I'm gonna be at such and such. Like, all right, she might not, you shouldn't go there or whatever, but she don't try to stop me. But just that's just what I'm used to doing. So, but
Yeah,
we're gonna be how we are,
exactly.
and I don't ask nobody to change. I
Right,
just know how I'm gonna be when it comes to these young people out here.
right.
Um, and that's just the way it's gonna be. And
And
it's
I think they
nothing that's
really,
probably gonna change.
they really do need to know, and that we care. It's not control, it's care. It's
Right,
love. Is we want you to experience life, but we also want you to know that there are, and we don't want to scare them to death where they don't even try to go out the house and be like, "Ooh,
right,
some the boogeyman's at the trash can." No, we're not trying to do that, but we want you to be aware when you get into an Uber, make sure this is your Uber. You
hmm,
know, make sure. And I ain't been perfect. I ain't perfect. I used to go out drinking. We had a designated driver. One person, you do not drink. And I was like really strict on that. We trust in
right,
you with our lives, so you
hmm,
don't drink. And we had an issue one time where this girl drank, and I really got pissed off about it because I'm like, we all share in this responsibility. This was your turn to make sure we're good. So I feel like
right,
you don't even care about us if you can't not drink a drink. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So you gotta have
right,
friends. Your tribe has got to be like that. They looking out for you.
right.
All right.
You're right. You are so right.
Look, y'all done got me excited. So
But
what?
we could go on and on, but I don't think things are gonna change for me. I'm gonna still be that mom.
Oh yeah. So does MM2K have anything coming up anytime soon? Anything you're looking for your organization, grant writer, or tell us what you need.
If I mean, I have some people that, you know, that I've looked at, but yes, grant writers, yes, I would need that. Volunteers, grant writers. There is an event coming out on May 6th that I need everybody to bring their children. Um, we're redefining the definition of LOL, so it's not laugh out loud anymore. It's love of literacy. So yeah, May
Six.
6th from 10:30 to or 10 to 1:30. Bring all of the children, your grandchildren, the neighbors' children. We need to get these children back to making reading fun. Um, I am a part of that event. That is my husband's event. But yes, bring the
And
children out so they can start making reading fun. Like I said, making reading fun again. Remember when we were little, we had the little commercial RIF, reading is fun. Remember
mhm.
that? And they had a commercial to go to it and everything. And we like to go to the bookstore, and that was something big when the
Yes,
book
honey.
truck was coming and you wanted to get your books and read and just buy go to your mom. Can I get like just $5, mom, so I could, buy some books? We got to get back to that again. And yeah, so that's the next event. Um right now I'm going through some medical things, and so my events right now are kind of on a hold until this is the time that I have to concentrate on me.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I got to take care of me in order to take care of my angel mommies, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So, but that's the next event, and I'm just encouraging everybody to bring out the children. Um, you know,
And
Go
that's a
around and pick up all your nephews and nieces and bring them out to this event because it's going to be big. It's really going to be big. So
and
that's
it's at
the
the
next event.
Hidden Valley Elementary.
Yes,
Is that
Hidden Valley Elementary, and I think it's 10 to 1:30.
yeah,
Yeah,
10 to 1.
10 to 1:30.
Yes,
Yeah,
love of
so there's
literature.
going to be a lot of activities in this event. So I don't want to spoil it, but there's going to be a lot of activities, maybe some surprise guests. It's going to be big.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's going to be nice, really nice for the kids.
Awesome.
And we're just asking everybody to come out, not just kids, but adults as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's what's coming up next.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
Seven, stay with us. I got to get these two commercials in. We're just going to go ahead and play them
Okay.
back to back. I didn't want to interrupt because the conversation was such a good flow. And we got to continue, to have these conversations. And
Yeah.
when we come back, again, tell people how they can reach out to you or reach out to Charles if they want to help with this event or be a part of it. And
Yeah.
your last words of whether it's a word of encouragement or a piece of advice or just whatever the Lord lays on your heart when we come back.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys hold on. We have some commercials for you from some amazing young entrepreneurs. One is Cookies Sweet Treats, and one is Scentaholic. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more with Seven Dogged.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. thing of beauty.
This is the peace that you cannot buy. Send me in love that you cannot mix. One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Finding a way when you cannot see. Man with this system he cannot pray. I need to find relief. But behind my mind it runs. All these thoughts have.
You want me?
Hey, so we are back with Making Connections. The first video you saw was Cookies Treats for the Sweet. She does have a Facebook page, so check her out. Chocolate covered strawberries and Oreos and all kinds of stuff. Candied apples. If you got events coming up, for the summer, make sure you think about them because they do catering events. They do, we had a business party, and she actually made apples with the color of our company colors, which is like a royal blue and all that stuff. So reach out to Cookies Treats
They
for
were beautiful.
make you hungry, right? And
Yes.
then because we kind of put them together, the second commercial was for Scentaholics Creation, also on Facebook. She's very young, like 25, doing her thing. She makes incense, candles. She does sea moss. So because they have so many beneficial benefits for the body. So
Yes.
Scentaholics Creations, check her out. Also on Facebook, and I think she's on TikTok as well. Um, Also coming up real quick, y'all know we talk about Mr. Excitement all the time. Brandon Brown on Sundays, he does a meet and greet every Sunday, and it's at the Cloud Check Hookah Lounge or Cloud Check. Listen, y'all know I can't see, but every Sunday is from 12 to 4. Check him out. Go to the group, the Kingdom. You can check that out. Usually there's a flyer in the group so you can see all other information. And also next Sunday, I believe it is March 18th, next Saturday from 10 to 2, God's Gift Baby Ministry is doing a baby giveaway. That's going to be on 1000 Anderson Street behind Plaza Road Academy. So God's Gift Baby Ministry, always out helping moms and, with the things that they need for their children. So check it out. Again, you can find these flyers in the Facebook group. I'll post them when we get off of here. But Seven, we want to thank you for coming again today because, Lord, we could talk about this probably 365 days a year until it changes. But I like to continue to remind people that we still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of conversations that we have to have. We still have to stand our ground for what we believe in, and that is our communities, that is our families. And so I want to give you opportunity to remind people how they can follow you or reach out to you, and your last words of encouragement.
I would just say, before pulling the trigger on a gun, please know that we, as angel moms and dads, we live a life sentence with this. We have to do better. Um, we have to, start having that conversation, like I said in the beginning, with our young people. And the younger, the better to me. Um, just know that when you decide to pull a trigger on a gun, that you are um, there's two families that's going to be involved, yours and the person that you're shooting, their
Mhm.
family as well. So, and just keep in mind, you don't, the life sentence that we live, it's not good. And I wouldn't want it for your mom or anybody else's mom. Um, I do want to leave with my email. Please reach out and email me. And I think you've put it up here. Yep, mm2k7@yahoo.com. And mm2k7 at Yahoo. Okay. And, reach out and email because we need people, volunteers for this upcoming event in May. And we also need people to go with us when we get ready to go to Raleigh. We don't just want, this is not just a Charles and Seven thing. We need people to go with us. So reach out if you want to be involved and you want to go with us. Please let us know. Like I said, we've kind of put that on a delay just for a short time until, and I'm an open book about this because I've actually put it on Facebook. I was diagnosed last year with breast cancer. And so I am still, going through my journey. So right now, I have some things that I have to take care of. And of course, my husband is going to be there with me. And we're just trying to get through that first before we, get to the Raleigh stage. So um, definitely email me and let me know if you're, wanting to go with us to make, that trip to Raleigh coming up. So, but
Okay.
other than that, I just thank you, Aly, for, allowing me a chance to tell my story and to speak on your platform. I don't even remember how I met you, but I love me some Aly.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, well, how did I meet her? But ever
Right.
since, we just
I
cool.
can't even remember, but I love you, some Aly. And I'm like, I thought about that today when I was trying to rush to get back here. I was like, how did I meet Aly? And I can't remember, but it's all love and it's always from day one. And I just thank you for allowing me to be able to, tell my story and, you know, tell my truth, speak my
Absolutely.
truth.
And
So,
like I always, if I tell it to everybody else, so I'm definitely going to tell it to you. Whenever you are ready to go to Raleigh, whenever you're having events, please let me know so I can, put the flyers up and just tell everybody. So
yeah.
it's time to
And
do it.
we got to do another one too. The next one will be about domestic violence. So, I want to be on board with that one.
Yes.
So, yeah. But
So
other
your
than
mom,
that,
I think, I don't know if your mom's talking to me or talking to you. She said, "Send me some cookies, please."
that's, yeah, that's my mother.
That's
I,
mama's. That's
I
what
just
we
can
do,
tell
right?
by what she said, and she knows she don't need no cookies right now.
And Betty Doggett said, "You are being the change that you want to see in the world." Your mom also says, "Put the guns down and pick up a book." Amen. And
Right.
then Charles says, onetimeinc.org. Thank you, Mrs. Robinson, for being a part of the Love of Literacy outreach. We are excited for young scholars to come out. MM2K going to a school near you. Yes. So,
Absolutely.
Charles,
So
whenever you're ready, if you're going to come in on the next interview, come on in. You're welcome as well. So, definitely
I
thank
got
you.
you. I got you, Allie. I'm gonna talk them into that one. I got you.
All right. Well, listen, y'all, we don't want you just to listen to this video. We want you to replay it, replay it with a family member. Share this to your platforms, to your groups and, on your page because the information shared here and the knowledge is it we got to keep sharing it. And that's the only way it happens. So we want to
Absolutely.
keep bringing awareness and letting people know we're not there yet. We still got some fighting to do, and it's okay if you see your neighbor's kids doing something they're not supposed to. It's because of the love. And if you show them love, maybe they'll receive it in love. It's how you talk to people. But anyway, you guys know I can go on, but we are making connections with Aly. We're here every Saturday at 12 noon, every Monday at 2 p.m. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to see replays of the show, if you don't catch them live, they're all on the page, on the Facebook page. You can also check out our YouTube channel to catch the replay. And so we're here for you. So, Seven, I love you. I'll be
Love
praying
you
for
too.
you. So we got to go. But as always, until next time, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.